Penn State has decided to cancel all in-person classes for the remainder of the spring 2020 semester, as well as postpone commencement. On a usual beautiful spring Tuesday afternoon like this, you'd usually see a bunch of students playing on Old Main Lawn, but the campus remains empty.
Here on Election Day at Penn State, we're going to talk to some students on why they thought it was so important to take the time out of their day to come vote. Let's head inside.
As businesses downtown have adjusted their hours or closed outright, downtown State College now feels a little bit more barren, lonely, and empty than it usually does.
Multiple positions can be found on this year's ballot, including Center County Commissioner and State College Borough Council members. Multiple Penn State students are also running for positions this year. We've seen a great turnout so far today as students look to make a serious impact on their local community within the State College and Penn State area. The streets are empty, its sidewalks are barren, and staple businesses are turning their lights off and closing their doors here in downtown State College. As Governor Tom Wolf ordered all non-life-sustaining businesses throughout the state to close and encourage people to stay home to prevent further spread of COVID-19, also known as the coronavirus, most restaurants, retail stores, and bars have all but closed their doors, some with seemingly no timetable on reopening. Some establishments are still offering takeout and delivery food options, while others have simply adjusted their hours as opposed to closing outright. But the scene downtown is still reminiscent of a surreal and silent ghost town.
As businesses downtown have adjusted their hours or closed outright, downtown State College now feels a little bit more barren, lonely, and empty than it usually does.
Even all the numerous construction projects downtown that typically pollute the air with the sound of heavy machinery have halted, leaving the only intermittent sound one can hear downtown to be the occasional bell tower chime from Old Main on Penn State's campus.
Penn State has decided to cancel all in-person classes for the remainder of the spring 2020 semester, as well as postpone commencement. On a usual beautiful spring Tuesday afternoon like this, you'd usually see a bunch of students playing on Old Main Lawn, but the campus remains empty.
While some students still remain, the university has closed a majority of on-campus facilities, including the library, the Hub Robeson Center, and numerous others, as well as shutting dorms in an attempt to discourage students from returning to campus while partaking in online learning. Students won't be permitted to return to campus to retrieve their belongings from their dorms until at least May, the university has said. The coronavirus pandemic, among everything else it has impacted, has turned State College and Penn State into shells of its former selves, waiting in vain for the students and community to return. Reporting from an empty Happy Valley, I'm Michael Sneff.
In the aftermath of the first ever fatal shooting involving an officer of the State College Police Department when 29-year-old Osaze Osagi was killed by police gunfire, the family of the victim has hired two local attorneys, Kathleen Yurchak and Andrew Sherbin, to represent them. He's charged with multiple felonies, including arson and reckless burning or exploding. Authorities first learned about the damage when maintenance personnel were alerted to a water leak at the courthouse. Upon further inspection, they found a hole burned in the roof. Hassinger is due in court on November 14th for a preliminary hearing. The history of homecoming is really strong here at Penn State. This year's theme, Haley, is the Century of Stories, celebrating 100 years of homecoming here at Penn State. Would you believe it when I told you that the first homecoming was October 9th, 1920? That was almost 100 years ago now at this point. We played our first homecoming football game against Dartmouth, and obviously we soundly defeated them because that's what Penn State does, Haley. Oh my goodness, look who's coming down, but the Bernese Mountain Dogs of Central PA. What cuties, my goodness.
Yep.
Who let the dogs out,
right?
For sure, huh?
And they love vigorous belly rubs, I've heard as well.
I'll give them all the belly rubs they want, honestly. Hi, I'm Michael Sneff. Welcome back to Collegiate Snapshot. Here's what's going on at Penn State. A former Penn State lawyer and state prosecutor in the Jerry Sandusky sex abuse case has had his law license suspended for a year and a day, according to the Associated Press. A judge ruled Wednesday that Frank Fina mishandled a grand jury witness in the Sandusky case, whose 30 to 60 year sentence for child sex abuse was recently upheld in Center County Court.